Now, I think this depiction is eerily accurate, mainly because this guy was really into tunnels.
I'm Epstein. Diddy Jackie.
What was up with those tunnels? We're going to look into that, as well as a lot of the other crazy conspiracy lore, which is all coming true after the disclosures of 3 million plus documents that still keep shocking the core of America, as a lot of people are extrapolating and really delving into this at a level that is unprecedented. Now, what will happen here as the conversations about, eliminating the poor, working with some of the top scientific minds in our countries, as well as the celebrities, as well as the politicians, as well as the banking billionaire class, which, by the way, now is taking a little bit of a self-reflection type of moment that I think is critically important, as, of course, some people are just trying to excuse all of this. And I think there's no excusing this, as, of course, what happens next, as there are some serious questions. One, about the tunnels. I'm going to talk about specifically the videos of the tunnels and underground hatches. And we'll do a deep dive onto the Epstein property, by the way. Someone did an amazing 3D rendered video of everything on the property. And I'll tell you about my experiences where I was on the island, personally myself, what I saw, including the door in the ground from being on the island 6 years ago. Okay? I wasn't invited. We're going to talk about what should be happening next, what Alex Jones is calling for, and a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us here on this small YouTube channel that's doing very well. Now, let's just get right into it. I mean, it's just like bombshell after bombshell, as Bill Gates allegedly discussed with Jeffrey Epstein how to take out poor people. Like, I think I got a plan. The World Economic Forum is investigating its CEO to clarify his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The European countries are taking it very seriously. We might see the ouster of the Prime Minister of the UK because of the people he hired that were tied into Epstein. Now, there's also emails talking about how allegedly the gold at Fort Knox is missing, which makes you kind of wonder, like, is it? Is it really? Wouldn't surprise me if it is. As if you remember, about almost a year ago, Donald Trump and Elon Musk just came into power. Everyone had huge, significant optimism. They were happy. They're like, yes, we're going to deal with the fraud, waste, and abuse. This is going to be awesome. I was one of these people. I was like, people are getting fired. The woke gay magazines we're paying for with our tax dollars to be spread in Poland are being stopped. Yeah. Hell yeah! Why are our tax dollars financing woke gay magazines in Poland? Why is my money going there? USAID was cut. Susie Wiles wasn't too happy about that. She was mad at Elon Musk. And then Elon Musk was supposed to go in every aspect of the government and look for transparency and accountability. And then there were multiple statements by Elon and Donald Trump saying, we're going to go to Fort Knox. We're going to live stream. It's going to be awesome. We're going to show you exactly where the gold is. And Donald Trump continued making those statements. And then we're kind of waiting here, and it's like, where's that? Where's that audit? Where's that live stream? Where's any type of conversation about this? It's because we haven't had anything. Nothing. Nada. Zinch. Zero. How do you say this? Zero. Nothing. As now we have one of the emails to Jeffrey Epstein from who knows who. Why are these names being redacted? There's like weird things regarding Brazilians and code words and the torture. We're gonna have to kill this person. All this tech, and it's like, who sent it? We don't know. As the DOJ is running the cover up of some of the people's emails here that are literally talking about torturing and killing people, and then they're like, "We'll if there's something there, we'll investigate it." Are you investigating? If there's something there, we'll investigate it. As they're not investigating anything. And then we got whistleblowers from James O'Keefe, OMG Media, looking into investigating everything. And it's like, oh, yeah, they're not going to do anything. The Somali fraud, no, they're not going to do anything there. It's like, wow, okay, there's so much fraud, waste, and abuse, and they're not going to do anything about it? I mean, man, really? Like, this is just such an absolute letdown. Now, again, it's the same thing. Like, okay, the World Economic Forum is going to investigate the World Economic Forum, you think they're going to really actually do something here? We'll see. But obviously, the true big high-level crimes probably won't be released there to the general public. As of course, this is one of the emails. I believe it's. It looks like it's an article that was just shared. Now, what's in Fort Knox? I don't know. But the fact that we still haven't gotten an audit when we were told there was going to be audit, it's sketchy. It looks like Epstein also allegedly had children that he stole from a 16-year-old, according to one allegation. It looks like he also had herpes. No surprise there. He had very low testosterone, had very low testosterone type of evil behavior. If you're a male, make sure your testosterone is taken care of. There's multiple ways you could do that. As, of course, Epstein was talking about designer babies. He was financing some of the Bitcoin core developers. He was talking to some very high-level players when it came to some very extraordinary type of scientific experiments. And when you look at people with low T, one, they're unhealthy physically and mentally. And it does explain his type of wild behavior that was examined here. Now, before talking about that and the tunnels and what Alex Jones is saying here and how he's probably still alive, we just really quickly wanted to tell you about We Are Change.shop. If you're worried about your testosterone, one of the things that really does wonders for your testosterone, ashwagandha. But some people shouldn't take it. Make sure you're the right person that should be taking it. The best thing also is vitamin D. Most people's vitamin D levels are insufficient, and I recommend taking care of your vitamin D. I started to just do that after I got our product, because our product is the best in the game. And man, it is some good, powerful stuff. I love it. I feel great. I feel incredible. My sleep score is always off the charts. And the best product that we have, our number one bestseller, is our creatine. Now, why is that? 2-month supply. We get it from Germany. We get it from the clearest, purest type of place that you could ever get it from, okay? Lots of other places sell you junk, sell you crap, sell you stuff from China. I talked to a bunch of medical professionals. I did my research. I started working out. I started taking creatine, and I noticed, yeah, it's great for my muscles. It's great for my mind. But the cognitive function here are amazing. I just typed in creatine into Twitter. This is what Human Upgrade says. The most underrated drug in the world, creatine. It boosts strength, brain power, recovery, and cellular energy. Yet 90% of people are scared of it. I don't know why. I saw this video floating around too that I decided to play here.
Hi, I'm creatine. I help your muscles recycle energy faster. That means a few more reps. Not magic, just chemistry.
Your brain uses energy too. I help it stay powered, especially when you're low on sleep.
There used to be a popular myth that I cause hair loss. Research hasn't backed that up, so you don't need to worry about your hair.
My hair's okay. Been thinning and balding for a while, but I think I have the strongest hair a while, and I'm taking a crap ton of creatine right here in my bottle. Got some creatine. Roger Stone gave me this cup. Shouts out to Roger Stone. He's a real one. He's also mentioned an Epstein list with Bannon and Epstein being not happy with him. So wearechange.shop. Check it out. Link is down in the description of this video. Get it while supplies last. We only have 208 left. They go very fast. We are re-upping. We hopefully will have enough. We'll see how all of this goes. Now, let's get back to the topic of this very important video. Since, of course, you shouldn't be a low-T, a beta, predator, ugly human being. Again, people with low-T, ugly, mental health, physical problems, and overall, just very mentally unstable human beings. That's just what it is. Make sure your T's good. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you go to the gym. Make sure you get good sleep and not be a creepy predator like Jeffrey Epstein. Now, again, the Harvard connections are wild. Epstein, not a lot of people remember this, but Epstein had his own offices at Harvard. And one of the most prestigious American university professors was clearly, according to the Epstein files on Twitter, quote, working and hanging out with Epstein. A newly released email shows Steven Pinker, Harvard professor, saying that he'd be delighted to meet with Epstein the next time he swung by Harvard. He had offices at Harvard. This is 2012. Already, Epstein was a convicted S offender that was supposed to be registering everywhere he goes. He didn't have to do that either. Why is that? Most S offenders have to register. Hey, I live here. Hey, I'm traveling here. Hey, I need to stay away from schools. Epstein just continued on with his hurting of small children, while the whole apparatus of the legal law system just collapsed. And it's like, oh yeah, regular average Joe who's not a billionaire and connected to the Mossad and CIA and all these other top intelligence organizations and groups and MI5. Yeah, the regular, if you're a regular Joe, yeah, we're going to put you on a map. You're going to have to tell us where you go. You're going to have to stay away from schools. You're going to have to stay away from children. You're going to have to let everyone know that you are when you move and you stay somewhere. Epstein was supposed to do that. Epstein never did that. Epstein was never held accountable for that. The people who allowed that to happen allowed more children to be hurt here. The people that are preventing justice from happening right now are helping continue more small children being hurt here. There are small children being hurt right now by the people associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I want to know, just because you emailed, now this is the nuanced point here, right? Because there are these predators out there, but just because you emailed Epstein or you met with him doesn't mean you're a predator. But we shouldn't be giving you the benefit of the doubt. You should do everything in order to clear your name and show us that you weren't a predator and you deserve to be at least investigated because you were knowingly associating with a predator that was against children, that was hurting children, right? And listen, it's like, hey, do you want to hang out with this guy who's a predator? No, I'm okay. I'm fine. Cool. Yeah. You want to go? What are you doing there? That's my first question. Epstein's assistant asked if he was free to visit in April, and Pinker said he wasn't around that day, but could meet him on the 16th instead. What happened on the 16th? What was one of the biggest professors in America meeting with Epstein about? What were they talking about? Of course, him and Bill Gates were talking about ending and getting rid of all poor people. Interesting. As right now, these redactions that are happening are just ridiculous. As Roacon and Thomas Massie have requested a meeting with Todd Blanche over the redactions of the senders of the emails that are being redacted. Why are they being redacted when they're talking about torture, when they're talking about killing people? As, of course, the online internet sleuths are like dying to know, who are you guys mentioning? Who's listed here? Now, a lot of people are sharing this. I shared this too, and I reported on this too. A lot of people are saying this was a typo and that she was 19, not 9. I'm not going to give any benefit of the doubt. Okay, sure, that might be likely, but let's find out. Who was it, and who was this 19-year-old? The DOJ, the government, should be looking into all of this stuff. The fact that they're not, it's crazy here. There's another email here saying, great, from Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. Who was the littlest girl? Who was this person that they were emailing back and forth with? Why is the DOJ protecting them? Roacon and Thomas Massie are right to say, what's going on here? Let's tell us what in the world is happening here. Now, Alex Jones came out and said something that I've been saying from day one, right? And Alex has been on top of this story just as long as I have, longer probably. David Icke has been on it way longer than all of us. Give credit where credit's due. These guys are the pathfinders. These guys are the trailblazers. These guys are the tip of the sphere that were on top of this when it was very dangerous to talk about, right? David Icke, Ted Gunderson, so many other big players, William Cooper, so many other big players before us that we got to tilt our head to and give respects to. Alex is one of them. Right? I highly respect Alex. Right? And then we knew each other for now 21 years, and we were talking about this stuff for a very, very, very long time. Him before me.
I think there's a very good chance Epstein's still alive. I mean, I don't know, but we're being completely lied to. Yeah, witness protection type stuff. He was a major CIA spy working directly for Bill Barr and his father. I mean, Bill Barr was a young man running Iran-Contra.
Epstein was a part of Iran-Contra. Bill Clinton was a part of Iran-Contra. Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas when they were running all the drugs from Iran-Contra into America. That's a real deal here. Now, Bill Barr's father and Bill Barr handling this entire case and telling the world, oh, he absolutely took himself out. Cash Patel, another kind of car crash, kidnapping type of style video. Oh, he absolutely took himself out. Why is he saying that? Well, maybe they know he's under witness protection. It wouldn't surprise me if he's under witness protection. Now, witness protection for what? Cover-up operation, because he was so powerful. He was a billionaire. He was the bagman for all of the world's most powerful people. And as soon as the official story came out, I was like, none of this makes sense. There's also a report specifically from a person that worked at the prison saying, yeah, there's some weird activities. There's people that came in, and this was reported on 4chan. The DOJ found this guy that was talking on 4chan, this employee at the prison, allegedly, according to the email drop here. And they said Epstein left in a military vehicle. He was carted out, and they brought someone else in. And then EMTs talked about how there was 10 people in the cell, how they were moving around things, how everything was inconsistent. It wasn't properly handled. Everything was just done wrong here, which should have never happened, should have never transpired. And then there's that drone footage that someone flew over Epstein Island right after Epstein allegedly passed away with what looks like exactly Epstein on the island. That's when I went to the island shortly afterwards.
And then Attorney General twice. And we now know from documents that came out that he was with Fannie Willis in Georgia getting the indictments ready before the election in 2024. So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying Epstein's still alive, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't believe any of this. And it's because Epstein.
And then they have that anonymous 4chan post right after he passed away with someone who's claiming a worker there that he saw him just being switched out. Most likely scenario.
And people say, oh, you're covering for Israel. No, I go where the truth is. More than anything, he was CIA.
That's true, right? There's no denying that. Now, the corporate media trying to say he's Russian. It's also tiresome. CBS News, Russia, Russia, Russia. I don't understand people promoting CBS News. People are like, Barry Weiss is great. Huh? I just don't get it. As people are now saying online, maybe Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein files, there's a receipt from YouTube where his username is little STJEFF1. If you search this account on Fortnite Tracker, you can see there's an account with that name. And the Epstein files show he purchased V-Bucks. His profile shows he is ranked Silver 1 in Chapter 5, Season 1, which was after his death. Is that true here? Or was this just kind of a reoccurring payment, and this was an old type of screenshot here, right? What's the truth here? Who knows? People are saying, coincidence! A lot of people are saying witness protection. He's being protected. He just had plastic surgery, and he's out there probably somewhere in, like, Thailand, right? That's what I would expect. Now, we have Paul Joseph Watson reporting, files show Epstein was obsessed with tunnels under his island. Video footage emerges. Emails vindicate long-dismissed claims about hidden structures on the notorious property. As it is often said, we need conspiracy theories because the old ones have all come true. And he posted someone email. For anyone still questioning if there are tunnels below Jeffrey Epstein's house and buildings on his little St. James, here we go. Definitely tunnels. And they point to this email here that reads, I would not hold up payment of $100,500, searching whether, again, sir, had direction from the team that added tunnels and office below the main house. That's passed. And then he talks about, and tunnels along the storage. So were there tunnels at Epstein Island? Well, it looks like some people are reporting, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. Since, of course, dungeons, torture chambers, or something that would make sense when it comes to understanding this full picture and perspective of everything that's going on here. Now we also have this video. As Mario Nafal says, Epstein files contain a 2+ hour video showing two men inspecting underground tunnels, one wearing a New York City Department shirt. It's unclear where these tunnels are and if they're the same tunnels Epstein obsessively emailed about for over a decade. Now, this is the video, New York, that looked like it was Central Park on one of the lakes there. And here's a video of what looks like some kind of manufacturing storage unit with some kind of mechanical gear here. Now, why and how did Epstein have this? What was he working on? It looks like there's a bunch of people here. As it's important to note here, New York City has a bunch of tunnels. Now, Epstein also had billions of dollars. At one time, he had the largest apartment in all of New York City. He had the biggest house in all of New York City. Huge, sprawling mansion, wired with cameras. Now, New York City, having a substantial underground system, was there nefarious things that were done and conducted in these underground tunnels for transportation? Were there tunnels inside of Epstein's estate? I don't know. Who knows? We don't have official confirmation. This is all just pure speculation. This is all me just kind of riffing here, trying to understand the landscape and trying to understand what we actually know and what is theoretical here. As you can see, it looks like there's the video here containing what looks like underground type of housing and obviously a dark tunnel, a dark cave here. Now, the New York City subway system also has a lot of outdated tunnels. There's also a lot of older type of infrastructure. There's a lot of people in New York City that take it upon themselves to explore some of these areas. I remember watching some of those videos a couple of years ago, and it is fascinating to see the old kind of underworld of New York City, which did exist. Now, did Epstein and the Predator class use them? I don't know, but it would be the perfect way to carry out a lot of really horrible, awful kind of activities, especially against victims, where they're kind of like waking up in tunnels. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah, the end is 9. And again, all of this is theoretical, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot more to this. Now, the individuals in this video should come out and just kind of explain what was kind of going on here, as of course, it looks like they were just officially kind of looking into some of the mechanical stuff here. Now, Mario Nafal says, Hollywood publicist Peggy Segal casually asked him in 2018 if his staff is still sleeping in the tunnels. Huh. Like it was, quote, totally normal. Why would Epstein's staff be sleeping in the tunnels? Investigators also found a mysterious trapdoor on the island, but don't know if it's connected to the tunnel system. What the hell was happening down there? Yeah, that's just, I mean, listen, it was a huge island. This is the email. I'm in New York all week. Things to do or come see me? Dear Jeffrey Epstein, I'm so sorry I missed your birthday. The good news is you're still younger than me, but do not look it. Just kidding. For a silver fox, you are in tip-top shape. How have you been? What's up in the Caribbean island? Staff still sleeping in the tunnels? Peggy, can we get some clarification on this? If there are some real reporters with balls out there, they'll email or they'll go out, and when she's out in public doing a lot of the PR public, they'll be like, hey, Peggy, what do you mean by the tunnels? What happened? What was that reference to? Can you explain that for us, please? Quote, retrieved all of the furniture out of the ocean? Did you take photos? Are you presently rebuilding? What is she talking about here? Now, the island was a sprawling island. When I visited it, I remember first laying my eyes on it in real life as the boat was going around it. It took a while for the boat to go all around it. And I was like, man, this is huge. I was like scared. I was like, am I even going to have the energy to go around all of it? And I went around the majority of it. But about a big portion of the island I didn't see. Here's a video that I saw with someone doing a kind of 3D rendering of the island. And then I'll tell you about my personal experiences where I got on, where I got off the island.
This is Jeffrey Epstein's island. To understand it fully, we've remodeled the entire island, and we've divided it into 3 main sections.
So when I went to the island, you could see my my mouse cursor here. I went here, right? So we started off, the boat came along here, we went around here, we went around here, went around here, went around here, and then we saw the pyramid, and then this seemed like the main, like, central focus area here. I stepped on the island here. Luckily, I got my friend to come with me, so I wasn't alone by myself. And then I made my way up here. And then I kind of checked out everything that was kind of in this particular area. There's a helicopter pad area in this area. And then we made our way over here. Lots of construction sites. We made our way over here. Huge bunch of mechanical gear. They had a place that they were dumping all their trash. I jumped in the trash looking for whatever I could find. There was like a briefcase in there that I was fighting for my life to open it. And then, of course, there's another structure here. Here is where they had the sundial, Masonic type of symbolism with 13 benches all around it. And here was a doorway right here to the ground, right? I was like, I wish I brought a crowbar. We weren't prepared. We weren't ready. The boat guy, literally, he's like, I'm not bringing you. We'll just go around the island. I'm not bringing you there. And then he's like, okay, guys, you guys got 5 seconds to decide if you're going or not. And I'm like, what? Let's go. And I told my friend, I was like, bro, you're coming. He was like, no. I'm like, you're coming. He looked a little petrified. I was petrified too. We were all scared. And then he ended up not bringing his shoes. I had to give him my socks. And then I put my shoes on because his like feet were bleeding because he was running around. He was like slower than me. He was smoking. He brought his wine glass on there and his Speedos. I'm like, bro, are you trying to fit in? It's too much. We all got heavily sunburnt. But there's a doorway here, right? And I'm like, I tried to open it. I couldn't, but it was boarded up. It was a boarded up doorway in the ground that you could see in my video. And then, of course, here's the pyramid. We went back here. There's a pool. There's a couple housing here with some weird type of stuff here. There's a massage parlor, beach area here. Over here, I saw my friends. My friends called me and they're like, bro, there's people looking for you. There's a bunch of security going crazy. They're all like ruffling around here. My friend was off the coast of the boat here. I got the phone call. Luckily, there was service somehow. And I got the phone call. My friend's like, bro, hurry up, run. They're coming for you. And I ran here, and my friend, Jeff Berg, was here at the time. We're no longer friends. Long story. And Jeff, the idiot that he was, because, like, listen, the whole time I'm, like, running, hiding behind stuff. I'm, like, trying to make sure I'm not in the security cameras. Me and him split up, and I was like, bro, if something happens, just scream. And then I'll get help. Now, what happened here... The nitwit was literally just walking out in the open, doing a video. Oh, look at me. And I'm like, why are you walking around out? Like, hide. Be a little, like, try to hide in the corners. Try to hide from, like, cameras. There's cameras everywhere. Like, be quick, right? Like, use corners. Use cover. Don't. And he was out there walking out in the open. Like, hi, I'm on Jeffrey Epstein Island. I think someone might be here. All right. And I'm like, running behind him. I got the phone call. I'm like literally running, hiding, like ducking, covering everywhere. I'm like, security's gonna run. I'm like, you idiot. Stop being out in the open. It's like everyone could see you. You're literally walking on the main beach. I don't know. Sorry. It's just a personal gripe of mine here. I was like uncovering furniture with like horns here. And then we ran here and then like security. I was like, coming, we ran here, ran on the dock, got out, and then luckily we weren't bothered.
So we can tell the complete story of how this place...
Now, this is the place that, of course, I didn't go to, and this is where all the housing was, and this is probably where the more significant underground facilities were, according to these photos, right? Because I went to the helicopter pad, I went inside there, I looked at the notes, I looked at the documents, I went to their trash. We went out of our way here to really... make sure that we found out whatever we could. Now, again, this is where all the housing was. This is where all the people and all the security was. So I was like, I'm in here, out this way, in here, went around here, doorway here, big, huge construction facility here, big trash here. There's also a door thing that looks like on the side of the mountain as well. We went to one of those things as well, and it was just concrete. Now, it could have been concrete afterwards. I don't know, but here's the rest of the clip.
This was built and what it was hiding. The first villa sits on a point just below the main house.
I never got there. And if I would have been automatically met with security. So I decided to do the best I could.
Built years after Epstein purchased the island. Next to it is another residence, connected to the pool complex by a lower level doorway. This one even had an outdoor bath backed by a giant mirror looking out toward the sea. Facing the ocean is a wide stone patio. Set into the floor are two mirrored shell designs, along with the letter E. It may have been decoration, or something more symbolic. Above it all is the main house itself. the largest residence on the island. When Epstein bought Little St. James in 1998, this house was already here, but he had it remodeled and expanded into part of a much larger complex. The sea-facing side has a veranda, while the back of the house opens into the pool area. That
Sprawling, huge area. It literally took me 30 minutes just to walk whatever I walked.
pool complex is massive. It has 4 cabanas, a pergola, and a large swimming pool in the middle. At the far end of the pool was a statue of a seated archer, and beyond it, a painted compass that some mistook for a helipad. Parts of the pool
Lots of weird occult gargoyles everywhere, and like symbols everywhere, and architecture everywhere that was pretty indicative of some occult knowledge.
complex were 2-storied, with staircases and hidden doors that led into lower levels. Not far away, along the beach, another villa was hidden behind thick trees. Visitors usually arrive by sea. Boats pulled into the island's jetty, which had a covered loading and waiting area.
That's where we entered first, right? We came on the boat here, got on here, I put on my shoes, and then we kind of went.
Those who came by air landed at the grassy helicopter pad.
And that's where we walked to next. And this is the little thing that I went into, looking for whatever I could find.
It had small shelters for passengers and luggage. Nearby, 2 strange details stand out. At the top of a slope is a giant monkey statue, and beside it, a stone staircase that leads up the hill, then stops abruptly, earning it the name the Stairs to Nowhere. This northern section of the island was meant to impress. Moving toward the center of the island, the design shifts. Here, the focus is less on luxury and more on control.
And this is where the massage tables were.
Tucked into the trees is a low building, almost hidden from view. Its purpose is still unknown. Just beyond it lies the island's main service area. This section held the machines that kept everything running. The desalination
Huge construction equipment there.
plant for fresh water, generators for power, storage rooms, and sewage management. Some of these buildings were built directly into the hillside. Their flat rooftops doubled as parking pads, and vents cut into the ground hinted at larger rooms below. In one case, drone footage even captured doors leading deeper into the hill, raising questions about what might have been hidden underground. From this hub,
There was one of these over here that we went into, and or was it here? I don't remember exactly. On the side, that a lot of people were like, "That's where the thing." And then we went in there, and it was an electrical room, but there was no other. Everything was just concrete inside.
a steep road winds upward. On the surface, it looks like a simple path, but it may cover a water pipeline that connects to the island's fountain. The fountain itself sat quietly in the middle of the island, ringed with benches. In one video, deer were seen grazing nearby, giving the strange sense of calm in a place filled with secrets.
I didn't see any deer there.
Closer to the southern edge of this section, a massive sundial stands.
Yep, I was there too. They took out the benches, and they had another occult thing over here to the right.
Once, it was surrounded by 13 brightly painted benches. Some say representing the 13 ruling bloodlines in conspiracy lore. The face of the sundial resembles a Masonic design, another detail that fueled speculation. Nearby, smaller structures dotted the coast. One open-air cabana seemed to have massage tables beneath its straw roof. Another beachside building, now only ruins, may have been for changing clothes or toilets. Close to the sundial, an odd patch of beach is marked out on Google Maps, blurred as if to hide something. On higher ground sits a large building with 3 garage doors and a row of sealed windows. Some have described it as a staff barracks. others as storage. Either way, it stood apart from the luxury of the main house.
I think this was by the pool area. There's another pool that was like taken care of. My friend's like, the pool's really taken care of. I think there's someone here. I don't think we're alone. And we're like, yeah, looks like it.
Suggesting it was built for those who worked, or were kept, on the island. This middle zone tied everything together. The southern stretch of the island is where the strangest and most unsettling designs appear. At the far southwest tip stands the most infamous structure of all, the so-called temple.
It's a huge cliff. I was daunted by just how huge everything was.
Painted in bold blue and white stripes, it once had a golden dome and statues of Poseidon and birds perched on its corners. From the outside, it looks like something out of another world. Early visitors described its inside as a music room with bookshelves, a grand piano, and even a portrait of Epstein with a pope. But by 2019, drone footage revealed only scaffolding, mattresses, and junk, as if it had been stripped bare. Some believe a small nearby shed hides entrances underground.
Oh, that's what I went to, and it's all concrete. That's where I went to. I remembered.
Though nothing has ever been proven.
Well, I went there, and I saw it.
One site shows a pergola with 2 sealed doors built into the hillside. A second building that once stood here was destroyed during Hurricane Irma, leaving behind only a flagpole and a concrete slab. This part of the island also served as a dumping ground.
I went in there. I was like, what's in there?
Trash was buried under dirt, but over time, pieces surfaced again. Visitors later reported seeing everything from machinery to broken furniture left rotting under the sun. Above the dump is a second swimming pool. Unlike the grand pool complex near the main house, this one was smaller, attached to a 1,200 square foot building with a garage-style door. Other features add to the eerie design.
That's right by the beach. This is where I got the phone call. There was like weird horned furniture here. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I see my friend literally walking out right by the water. And I'm like, why are you making yourself so obvious here? After we just made the I'm here like investigating everything in here. He's out. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a selfie video. I'm like, where I just talk. I'm like, we could do that anywhere, bro. And I didn't know he was doing it. But then I got the call. My friends are way up there. They're screaming, security's coming, security's coming. And my friend's like literally in the middle, like the prima donna he is. Oh, hi guys, look at me. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like running. I'm seeing, and I looked out here and I'm just seeing him in his freaking Speedo walking out by with his like wine glass, and cigarette and selfie stick. I'm like, what are you doing? You idiot! You dumbass! I'm like, I'm running and I'm like hiding in there. I'm like, what? You're gonna get the cover blown. I told him too. I was like, bro, they get you? I'm jumping in the water. I'm swimming out. I'll get help later. You're like, okay.
A flight of stairs to nowhere climbs up the hillside, ending abruptly with a statue at its top.
There are gargoyles everywhere.
A large monkey statue sits nearby, silent and unsettling. At the highest point of the island, a tall telecom tower looms, with Wi-Fi repeaters fixed to buildings all around, ensuring constant surveillance and communication. Here, on this southern edge, beauty and mystery collide. The temple, the sundial, the sealed doors, and the landfill, all of it suggests an island designed not only for privacy, but for secrecy.
The last bit's a little bit much, but looks like the Nickelodeon logo. That's interesting. There's still other things. MTG came out that Aiden and Ross talked about with the architecture. Again, Todd Blanche, the AG, is not doing anything. I'm going to do more videos about this. Alex Jones says an emergency just a message that I couldn't agree with more than ever. That there needs to be justice, there needs to be accountability. The fact that there's not is highlighting something very off here, very weird here. Here's a video. People are like, look at the Nickelodeon logo. It looks pretty similar to the island there. I don't think it's a coincidence. You look at Nickelodeon and the crazy stuff that was happening there, and how some of the child stars are now. It's like, oh, that all starts to make sense. If you look at all the powerful Hollywood people, it all starts to make sense. Anyway, get some creatine. So your mind is right. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys buying the creatine, sharing these videos, getting it out there to the general public, and because you do, this is why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/LukeRadowski76.